The world is full of things you didn't even know you needed to know. But don't worry, by the time we're done, you'll be in the know. Welcome to If You Don't Know, Now You Know. Today, I'm going to be deep diving into the world of crypto. Welcome back to If You Don't Know, Now You Know, where we talk about life, travel, food, and today, financial confusion wrapped in digital magic. That's right, folks. We're deep diving into the wild, wacky world of crypto. Now, listen, some of my friends get it. They're out there talking about staking, mining, and blockchain technology like they're part of some elite hacker squad from a Hollywood movie. My mother, she thinks Bitcoin is some kind of scratch off lottery ticket. My wife, she has officially banned me from bringing up crypto in casual conversation. Last time I said Ethereum at the dinner table, she looked at me as if I asked her to split the bill on our wedding night. But today I've got a special guest, Matt, the man, the myth, the crypto wizard himself, here to break down all of it for us. Is crypto the future? A scam? A cult? A digital pyramid scheme where the guy on top is just some dude named Chad who bought in early and now owns a yacht? We're about to find out. Buckle up, folks. And if you're listening to this on a device you bought with Bitcoin, congratulations. You might be smarter than me. Be honest, Matt. At what point did crypto go from cool investment to full on cult? Like, was it when people started calling themselves Bitcoin maximalists? Or when they started to dress like Neo from the Matrix and telling us banks are the enemy?
I believe it's been a cult from the beginning.
You don't
I
want to tell
no,
me.
I'm actually what I'm thinking about the way actually that I got into it, and I'm gonna say back then it was very different to what I see today.
Okay.
But I think the people that started with it mostly was preached through programmers,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Because I think they were in the know, and of course there were people participating in building,
Yeah.
uh, you know, the Bitcoin ecosystem. But I got initiated by a friend of mine, programmer, who was kind of like, he wanted to not depend from the government,
Yes.
and have freedom
Yes.
and to not be controlled, and that this was an opportunity for people to transact directly among themselves
Yes.
without having someone else or third party, controlling, being,
Yeah.
the banks or the government or the credit card companies, etc., etc. And there's, I think, around that, there's a lot of, I think, let's say it strikes a chord with a lot of people who want something different, and they want a different type of life, right?
Yes. Yes.
So it can be, let's say, for even some people, it was something that can be attractive to someone who's programming,
Yes.
and it also can be attractive to someone who is, let's say, who would like to live in a commune somewhere
Yes.
where they want to prefer.
Off the grid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And oh, I'm just saying, like, extremes, right? People
Yeah.
who are like very taking into work, and other people who maybe want to have an organic farm and they want to
Yeah.
trade just with
Yeah.
with this.
Other cult members.
Yeah, exactly. So correct. So I think at the first, that's kind of thing that is, that attracts the people at the beginning.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the the truth is, any financial system only works if there's belief,
Yes. Yes.
right? And so belief, you need have to have a followership. Uh, when you have credit, which is crédito.
Yes.
That,
Credito.
which means belief.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If no one believes in the dollar, it won't be worth anything.
That's true.
There's just enough people that believe in it, and of course, there's institutional, system behind it. But yes, you need a cult like following to start it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
I think this is a bit like the bands or artists that you used to listen to, and you would probably go and follow them everywhere, wherever they played in all those shitty little
Yeah.
clubs,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you loved them, and you were talking to everybody about how amazing they are, and
Yes.
that, and then you're wearing the T-shirt,
Yep.
and then afterwards they go mainstream, right?
Yes. I just did this with Doce. I was following her, and all of a sudden, she just blew up out of nowhere. Not out of nowhere. She's put in hard work, but I was like, "Oh, I'm a Doce fan. She's so good." Da, 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 da. And all of a sudden, she winning Grammys and everything. I was like, "Man, it's not the same." But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, and then you got all these people that follow now, but they're not now. They're not now. It's not
They're not
necessary.
diehards like I
And,
was.
and yes, exactly. But it also, it's not necessary anymore that they die hard.
Yeah.
Because now there's sufficient people that are following that they feel, oh, I can follow this too, because it is a
Yes.
reinsurance of
Yeah.
the herd crowd. I think
Exactly. Exactly.
so. It's yes,
That's
that's
it.
a parallelism there.
All right. Now, I am a careful risk taker, and I'm not a millionaire by any stretch of the imagination, but I am not going to get left behind with the new digital currency. I mean, I know when NFTs popped off a few years ago, I was, I wanted to know what's a non fungible token? What are these things? And I also have children, so I want them to know what's going on in the world. I remember when my dad first got a CD, we tried to play it on a record player. And I felt that I never wanted that experience for my children. So I try to tell them about Bitcoin, NFT, mining, staking, and decentralized finance. Like they need to know these things because this is the age that they live in right now. Um, I myself mine Pi, which is a very simple thing. If you want some information on that, I'll leave a link below and I can get you hooked up with that. Again, once you understand the world we live in and where the world is headed, you're going to feel more comfortable doing things like this. Like Matt was saying, it's the future, but it's now. Like it's what's going on right now. I have another associate of mine that does blockchain, and he runs this whole thing. He actually pays for his house on crypto, and it's pretty amazing to see. I know another guy, I went with him to the ATM, and he's like, "Oh, let me just pay you back in Bitcoin." And I'm like, "Well, I don't have Bitcoin." "Oh, okay, let me just transfer from my Bitcoin to my regular account real quick, and I give it." And I'm like, "Wow, people are actually making money and moving money on Bitcoin." I met somebody that recently that's made $375 in one day when they asked me a month earlier for a $10 investment, and I just couldn't talk my wife into saying let's do it. I could have done it myself, but at the same time, I'm a family man and I want to do everything with my family, and I didn't do it, and I could have made about $46,000 off a $10 investment. Now, what is that? If you want to personally hit me up, and I'll let you know what that is. But yeah, $375,000 just all in coins. Now, the market is very volatile. It goes up, it goes down. I'll tell you another example. Like that sounds good. That's a great story. Somebody making $350,000. Oh, a $10 investment, and I could have made 40 something thousand dollars. Oh, that's great. But I have another story of a friend of mine who I will go over his house every day. I see him on the computer clicking away, mining, doing this, doing that. And he's just showing me, hey, I made 4,000 today. Hey, I made 10,000 today. Hey, I made 6,000 today. And I'm like, wow, every day this guy's making 4,000, 6,000, 10,000, and he's racking it up. He's about to cash in. Now, his company had a big announcement for all of their coin holders on March 8th a few years ago. And he had me come over to the house because he's like, hey, I want you to be a part of this. I want you to see what's going on with this company. And it was shocking what happened. Literally, the announcement was, hey, sorry, we lost all the coins in an investment we made, and we're no longer a company, and you've lost all your money. He invested not hundreds of $1,000s into it, but he invested a few thousand into it. So he lost all of his money, and all the money he thought he was playing with might as well just has been as good as like you playing on a fake bank account with the money and showing you what you can do with it was just, to me, it was very shocking to see it all go from this super excited moment to just boom, just doom and gloom, like lost everything. I'm not going to get into what, but that happens. A lot of people invest in Ethereum and it goes great. They invested early, they got in early, and they're just making money. I met another guy from Connecticut, and he is absolutely killing it. Like when I say killing it, he's staying at 5-star hotels every time I see him around the world. When I say around the world, I travel full time. So I've seen this guy 3 different times in 3 different places, all in Southeast Asia, but he's killing it. Now, you never know if people could be lying to you and just telling you fibs and, yeah, I'm making all this money, I'm doing all this. But yeah, he's killing it. He's doing it. I would say he's doing. I've been to a store with him and he's made some crazy purchases. Again, you never know what people are doing. You have to believe them on face value sometimes. But this is the world we live in. Digital currency is going to be, it is the game changer. It's already changing the game. It's already doing things. Like I say, I know people that are moving this money and doing things with this money. Another case in point, I met a man, he's from South Africa. He actually works in China right now doing shipping and receiving. And man, he invested some coins for his daughter when she was 3 or 4 months old, he said. And now she is a millionaire. Yes, this little girl is around 4 years old right now, and she is a millionaire. And this is a black couple, from Africa, from South Africa. So to say this is, oh, it's an exclusive club just for this and just for these guys, and just no, 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 no. This is a club for everybody. Like Matt was saying, this is what money is headed to, and this is where money is now. All right, Matt, tell me a little bit about what you do and a little bit about Metapool.
One. Yes, so I focus on DeFi education, and I connect with local communities across Southeast Asia. And Metapool is a liquid staking protocol. It's a multi-chain liquid staking protocol. Originally started in LATAM, and they are present worldwide now.
Okay, okay. Now, explain Bitcoin in 20 seconds or less so that my mother doesn't get scared and want to hide her wallet.
So Bitcoin is a digital currency that what makes it very different from, say, fiat money is that it's on a public ledger, and there is a maximum amount of 21 million Bitcoin that can be minted, and it doesn't belong to anyone in terms of control. So if you have Bitcoin, it's yours, and it doesn't have to go through a bank. There is no like fees or commissions from banks, let's say, or they can't either issue more Bitcoin, which causes inflation, which you see with your fiat currencies.
I don't think my mother would understand any of that, but thank you, Matt.
Okay, so maybe I'll put it in other words. It's like having your own money in a digital wallet, let's say on your phone, and you can transact peer to peer, so from person to person, without the need of having a bank as a middleman. That would be very simple.
Like I was saying, I want my kids to ultimately know what's going on in the digital currency world, what's going on with Bitcoin. What I want them to understand, even if we're not going to invest, even if we're not doing what it is, what's going on, what's happening, because you can easily get left behind in all of this. I know when ATM cards came out, let's say it like this: when ATM cards came out, my grandmother was lost. She didn't know what was going on. And this is simple. This is, you got money in your bank, you go put your 4-digit PIN in, you get the money out the bank. You put money in, you go put your 4-digit PIN, you go somewhere else, she didn't understand you can take this card to stores, and then when they started doing, just automated teller services and all that, she didn't understand anything about, when the credit card came out. It was what I think it was something that American Express had when it first came out. And it was just like, in America, it was a Diners Club card. I believe that's what it was called. And only certain people could get this Diners Club card. But a lot of people got lost in technology. I know a lot of people started hiding money in the mattresses and things like this. I'm not that old, but that's what my grandfather said. He was like, we just put our money in a mattress. That was it. We didn't have, my grandfather did not have an ATM card.
No,
My grandmother had an ATM card and never ever used it, didn't understand what was going on with it.
my father didn't use his card,
Yeah.
and not because he didn't have one, but he just preferred the old
Yeah.
cash.
Yeah. Now my mother, she loved using her ATM card, especially when they had the uh I forget, I think it was a Washington Mutual card, and they allow you to just like go over, like if you had $300 in your account, you can go buy something for 5,000, and they just penalize you and you go pay it back later. So she loved this card. She would go all the places and buy stuff, buy stuff, buy stuff. Oh, I said, Mom, how much money you got in your account? She's like, oh, I don't have nothing, but Washington Mutual, they just allow you to just keep going as much as you want and just pay it back when you get it. I was like, I don't think that's how it works, but yeah. So a lot of people get left behind in technology. And I know this is the wave of technology that's hitting right now. And this is what's going on with the world. Any turn on the news and everything, you're going to hear something about crypto eventually. You go on social media, there's going to be some, if you, whatever you're looking at, eventually something's going to come up, digital currency. Look at Ethereum, look at this. It just comes up. It's there. It's here. It's now. And like I say, I want my kids to know what's going on, so at least they don't get left in the dust. And that's the beneficial thing about doing this kind of show with you and talking to you, is getting to know what's going on out there. If you don't know, now you know. People don't know what's going on. People have no clue. Like I say, most people think this is a big scam. People think it's just like Chad's on a yacht getting paid. People are investing money doing this, but it's not really like that. It's there's a legitimacy behind this whole industry. There is, but it's a volatile industry, and it takes explanation to know what's going on. Some people just don't have the time to tune in, like all this AI technology that's going on. They just don't have the time to tune into it. They're like, oh no, ChatGPT's taking our jobs. And ChatGPT ain't doing nothing. It's not, you have to make that do something. You have to do something with it. Oh, AI is taking away all the artists. No, it's not. We're still going to have great artists. We might not ever have a Michelangelo again, but have we had a Michelangelo since we had Michelangelo? No. It's true. We have not had a Michelangelo since we had a Michelangelo. So AI is not going to take away the next Michelangelo. They're just creating things for people. So with all of this being said, the one thing that I want to allow myself to grasp, as well as my family, is that you have to embrace the technology that's out there. You have to embrace what's going on. And that doesn't mean let's go get all our money out the bank and go invest in crypto right now, or go invest in something. No, 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 no. Or let's start mining. No, no, no. That's not what it means. It just means don't get left in the dust. Don't get left behind. You don't want to be the last person in the race.
I agree.
He says
However,
with disagreement in his tone.
the thing is, there is a very, I think there's two differences here. One is crypto adoption
Yes.
in everyday life.
Yes.
So your kids are probably going to end up using some form of tokens for transacting.
Yes.
And this is probably going to be quite standardized in the next few years of the most you'll have the top or most reliable services, and things tend to concentrate. So you probably have a few dominant services, and people were using that. They'll have it on their phone to make payments and
Yeah.
and um, and the other type of Web3 type services. Let's say that is going to be something that they'll utilize.
Yeah.
Then, if they want to do investment, there's going to be like a lot of different tokens out there, and there's going to be a lot of memes as there is today and all that. That's like pretty much kind of like a casino.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, okay, you want to educate your kids in that, you're most likely to have your kids earn money
Yeah.
if you educated them about stocks,
Yes.
because stocks today are related to companies that actually produce value.
Yes. Yes.
And in crypto, there are some things that produce value today, but not a lot,
Yeah.
and mostly don't. Mostly are based on a promise.
Yes.
So it's highly speculative. And I think
today's word is speculative.
so I think the idea is that yes, you should educate your kids in a lot of things, or about a lot of things, and about finances in general.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But to keep up with crypto would be one little thing I think about it, and there's things will change a lot as well in terms of names and new technologies coming out, and they'll rebrand things and they'll make things very confusing.
Yeah.
But maybe a lot of it's going to be the same thing, but just with a different jacket, different coat.
Yeah.
And what I do want to add about this, and I think it's important to say, is with crypto, there's a lot of complexities, a lot of things that people don't understand, and or really don't make sense, because you'll see a lot of things that are not legit projects, let's say, right?
Yeah.
But I don't understand that. I don't, I know a bit about crypto,
Yeah.
but I don't know much. And yes, when you look into certain things, it seems like very complicated, or how come, there's money out of thin air. And the thing is, our system,
Yeah.
current system,
Mhm.
the fiat system, if you dig into that and you look into that, it's just as incomprehensible,
Yeah.
That doesn't make a lot of sense either.
Speculative.
Yeah, and that money printing machine, and
Yeah.
where does the value come from? And so what I mean is that financial services, or financial products, for most of us, I think it's quite complicated. And at the end of the day, we just want to have the value of something to use to be able to trade goods and services with, right?
Yeah.
And that's
it. In a nutshell. I wish it could all be just like Star Wars, and we just like Skeleton Crew. We just go to admin. They're just printing all the tokens, and just go there and use the Force. And then anyway, Matt, I'd like to thank you for being on the show today. This has been a eye-opening experience, to say the least. It's a lot going on in the world of crypto, and thank you for letting me and the listeners know a little bit more than they did. If any of this went over your head, please rewind this. It's not a tape recorder, but please replay this and listen again. You might have missed something. It's all speculative.
Thank you for having me.
All right,
Cheers.
Matt.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Matt, thank you very much for being on the show today. I want everybody to, try it out, test it, and let me know what changes the game for you. What makes it happen for you. Plug into Baba Chichi's Big Adventures on the YouTube channel. Check me out on Instagram at It's Me Baba Chichi. And I will continue to bring you more exciting content from around the world. So, until next time, if you don't know, now you know.